Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Amy-Geddon and I make Sims videos here on YouTube. In today's video I'm going to be doing a Create a Sim challenge, the One Sim in 4 Styles challenge, and I'm going to make each sim represent one of the 4 elements. So the first sim I am doing is based on Earth. I give her the freelance botanist aspiration for that reason. And for coming up with personality traits for the Sims, I sort of used my own ideas of what I thought would fit that element, and I also used this picture that I found on Google as something to help me with that. So you can see here for Earth, some of the things it says are goal-oriented, working hard for success, that sort of thing. So for that reason, I decided to make her ambitious, and I also decided to give her the vegetarian trait and the loves outdoors trait, because I just felt they suited the idea of Earth very well. In terms of a name for this sim, I decided to name her Gaia, or Gaia, whichever way you prefer to pronounce it, which is a Greek goddess of the earth, and I think it's a very pretty name and just suited the sim really well. I really wanted to try doing this one sim in multiple styles because I thought it would be really fun using the skin details and hair and outfits, things like that, to make sure that each sim had their very own unique style, but still having the same base. So the sim that I'm working with, I made her just before I started recording. I think she's really pretty. I love her facial structure and that she's a bit curvier. So I think it's really fun just seeing what I come up with. For the hair for this sim, I wanted to use a kind of curly, natural looking hair. I had initially been considering potentially going for a green colour for the hair, but as you saw, the green colours that I had were like neon and just really not what I was looking for. So I decided to stick with the brown colour instead. I do go in and change this to a different hair because I wanted to use one of these patterned bandanas that I had. I just thought it would work a bit better for the vibe that I was going for. But in the end I actually did go back and change it to that curly style with the fringe because I just thought it was really lovely and it ended up suiting the outfit that I went for better. So because this sim was going to be Earth, I wanted to keep it very kind of natural looking if possible, and when I think of Earth I think of earthy colours, so browns, greens, maybe some like oranges, quite kind of autumnal colours almost. So that's what I was thinking of for the sim. So I give her some really pretty like dark green eyeshadow, which is not a colour that I would normally go for giving my sims, but I think it actually looks stunning on her, so I'm really happy I did that. And then for the cheeks and lips, I just kept them pretty natural. For doing the outfit, I wasn't sure what way I was going to go down. Initially I was thinking along the lines of those kind of browns, yellows, greens, and I was thinking maybe a nice shirt, but then I decided to start looking at the dresses as well, just to make sure that I was seeing every possible option. You will see a couple of times during this I do put kind of curveball outfits on them, like that red dress and the blue one. That's because I was just thinking ahead to the other elements as well and seeing what outfits I had that would potentially fit them. So if at some point you see me put an outfit on and you're thinking that doesn't look at all like that element, that is why. In the end for this sim, I actually did a kind of 180 on what I had originally thought. So instead of going for the kind of browns and greens, I go for this gorgeous floral dress with the black colourful flowers. So as I say, it's not what I had initially imagined at all, but I actually think it looks stunning on her, and obviously flowers can't grow without earth, so I thought it was very fitting for that element. And then went back and changed the hair to the original hair I had with the little greenish yellow headband because I felt it suited the dress better. So this is my Earth sim. The next element I wanted to do was air. So you can see here just the exact same base sim. I just copied her 4 times and just used the exact same base for every element. So for her name, I decided to call her Sky. I was trying to have a think of names kind of associated with air, or if that would make me think of it, and the first thing I thought of was sky, because obviously the air is in the sky, so I went with that because I also think it's just a really pretty name. Personality wise, you can see that it says air is very mental and analytical, so I give her the genius trait and the perfectionist trait for that reason. I also just gave her the love the outdoors trait as well, because air is very kind of, makes me think like very kind of free-spirited, it's all outdoorsy, so I gave her the love outdoors trait as well. The image that I got also said that people with the air personality type tend to like to be writers, teachers and philosophers, so I give her the writer aspiration. According to star signs, I am a Libra, so I am actually an air sign myself. I think it suits me pretty well. Not perfectly, but I do like writing and being creative and taking kind of an analytical approach to stuff, so I feel like it's a fairly good match for me. Let me know in the comments down below what your element is according to your star sign, and do you think it suits you or not? Stuff like that I just find really fun and really interesting, seeing the different personality types and stuff. So yeah, I just thought it was really cool. You can see for each of the Sims, I decided to change their eye colour to match the element. Originally I hadn't planned on that, but it was just when I was making this Sim I then was like, ooh, that would be really cool. So I gave her these kind of really pale grey eyes, which is really striking looking I think, and really does sort of embody like air and the wind and stuff. As you may have noticed, I actually decided to change the personality type I had chosen for her, so instead of choosing the loves outdoors, I changed it to be the insider one, where they like being part of a group, because it did say that she was very social, and the reason I changed that was initially I had been going to do the loves outdoors trait for all of the Sims, but I actually decided to just keep that for the Earth Sim and give all of the other Sims their own individual personality types. So I went back in because I felt that suited her a little better. In terms of her hair, I immediately knew that I wanted to use this hair that I had. It's a very kind of fantasy anime style hair. I've never actually used it in game, but I downloaded it just in case I ever wanted it, and I'm so glad I did because I think it's perfect for this Sim, because it just looks exactly like it's being blown in the wind, or like she's floating around in the air, and I thought that was perfect. I also gave her a pretty kind of shimmery silver eye makeup, and I was undecided whether I wanted to give her a nice highlight on her cheeks to tie in with that silvery look, or if I wanted to go for a little pink blush over the cheeks and nose, like she's been out in the cold air. But I believe in the end I went for the highlighter, but we will see for sure what I go for, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, I went for the highlighter. And then just give her some pretty like subtle pink glossy lip. One thing I did find slightly difficult with this challenge was because I was making Sim with a darker skin tone. It's a lot more difficult to find lip colours that look good on all of them. There are some great custom content creators I know of who do make makeup for Sims with a darker skin tone, but I'm always looking for more, so if you have any good suggestions for kind of alpha custom content makeup, especially that is good on darker skin tones, please send me the links, because I'm always looking to get more of that in my game, and also more like freckles and blush and things that don't cause pixelation on the skin. So yeah, if you have any links for that, I would be eternally grateful and would really appreciate it. For her outfit, I wanted to go for something quite kind of light and flowy that looked like it was more, I don't know, like floating around in the air. I think this would be the outfit that I found the most difficult to do, just because I couldn't decide what sort of thing I wanted to go for. Nothing I was putting on her was really calling out to me as being very airy. In the end I went for this long skirt and a little kind of floaty top combo, and I think it does look really pretty because it's like lighter muted colours, which I think of when I think of the wind and the air, because I think because air is invisible in my head, it needs to be like light colours for that reason. And also I then started thinking about how I paint the sky and the air in the sky, so I gave her little star earrings and a pretty little necklace to match. I think in the end she turns out awesome. Her hair is definitely my favourite thing. Putting the necklace and earrings on the air elemental reminded me that I had a really cool kind of vine type necklace that I wanted to put on my earth elemental sim. So you can see here I'm just going in and giving her that necklace, so it just looks like vines wrapped around her neck. I think it's really cool and just completes the sim really well. Next I moved on to the third elemental sim. And the third sim I made was the water-based sim. Initially I was planning on calling her something based on the ocean, like Coral or Oceana or something, but I actually changed my mind and decided to call her Rain, because I think it's a really cool, unusual name, and I wanted to be mindful of the fact that there are multiple different types of water in the world, not just the sea. So you do have the oceans, but you also have like lakes and rivers, and the rain. So I decided to go with that. So let me know if you think that's a good option or what you would have called a water-based sim instead. So obviously the first trait I gave her was going to be Child of the Ocean. I felt like that was just an obvious route to go down with her. In the image that I had found online, it said that water sims were artistic, emotional, empathetic type sims. So for that reason I decided to make her have the aspiration of wanting to become a painter extraordinaire, because it is an artistic aspiration, and it said that people with that personality type are very artistic. For that reason I also made her creative, and because it said they're intuitive and emotional and empathetic, I decided to also make her good, because I felt like that was just, it just kind of embodied all of those traits to me. And yeah, I think it was a really nice personality type to give her personality traits, and she seems really fun. Because the sim was based on the water, I decided to give her blue eyes, and I ended up actually giving her an eye overlay that is in my face paint section at a later time, just because the eyes that I give her end up being really, really cool, and I really like them. For her hair, initially I was going to go in and give her a very long kind of traditional mermaid style hair, but because I had made her quite curvy, the mermaid hairs that I had were actually clipping a lot through her boobs, and I just didn't like how they were looking on her. So I decided to go for a different hair. I actually changed it up later and give her a shorter hairstyle, just because I thought it looked really awesome on her. The sim that I made actually really suits super long hair and shorter hair, which I was really, really happy with. I hadn't expected that, but I'm really glad it turned out that way. So I give her just some shimmery blue eyeshadow that I felt really looked like water, and I immediately wanted to give her these little flip-flops that I had. I had been considering making the water elemental sim a mermaid, but I decided against that because I wanted all of the sims to be completely identical, and I thought it would work better if they were all just normal human sims. So at some point I might go back and do elemental mermaid sims if that's something people would be interested in, similar to what I did with my Arctic mermaid, which I will link up above. If you would be interested in seeing more videos like that where I make themed mermaids, let me know. But for now I just decided to keep them all as normal humans. I really struggled to decide what outfit I wanted to go for my water-based sim. I didn't know if I wanted to just go for like normal kind of blue clothes, if I wanted to give her a sort of islandy vibe. In the end, this sim ends up being like really extra. She has a really shimmery blue formal dress that just looks like the water. I actually remembered it really late. I had forgotten that I had it and was really struggling to think of what to go for, and then I suddenly remembered I had this dress that I felt would be perfect for her. So You can see here I've found it, and I was immediately like a eureka moment. I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. But because I had given her that dress, I then wanted to change and give her a shorter hairstyle. I did go for a sort of mermaid style crown of shells on her head, just because I felt like it was so perfect that I had to go for it, and it just really makes the look complete. So you can see here I'm still kind of struggling to decide what hair to put on her, and then I go for this short hair which kind of flicks out at the side, and I just thought this was perfect for her. I felt like the little wave at the side was like a wave in the ocean, and it's just really cool. So I end up super happy with her. Finally, we have my fire elemental sim, and I decided to name her Ember, because it's like an ember in a flame, and I think it's a very pretty name and just suited her very well. The image I had gotten online said that fire type sims are confident, enthusiastic, inspirational kind of thing. So I decided to give her the friend of the world, no, the leader of the pack personality aspiration, I believe is what I gave her, because she's like inspirational and things. I felt like it would suit her very well to be the leader of the pack. And I feel like if I was playing with these sims, all of the personality types for the fire one would work really, really well in the politics career. So that is why I gave her that aspiration. I also then gave her, in terms of traits, I made her self-assured, I also made her active, and for the final one, it's the only sim I give a slightly negative trait to. I gave her the hot-headed trait, and initially I had been going to just keep them all positive traits, but for me, fire, just when I think of it, it seems so volatile and kind of potentially destructive that I just needed to give it that hot-headed trait, because like it even looks like a firecracker on the image, like it says it in the name. I think it just is so perfect for that element, so I decided to go for it. For the hair for this sim, I was trying to decide what way I wanted to go for. I knew I wanted a really vivid red hair, but I was really struggling to find a swatch that was the colour that I was looking for, but also suited the kind of fiery personality I had in mind. I ended up actually deciding to give her a short hairstyle. So I switched off the feminine filter and just looked at all of my hairs and decided to give her a really, really short hairstyle that kind of, I feel like the way it kind of goes off looks almost like a flame, and it looks super cool on her, and I just love it. I also went for very intense makeup for this sim, so I gave her like an orangey red blush, red around the eyes, and quite a smoked out eye, because it's fire, it's smoky. I just felt that worked. And I gave her a red lip, and also decided to give her the kind of cut eyebrows. I wanted to just make this sim a little edgier, because the three I had made previously were quite kind of girly, glamorous sims, so I just wanted to really throw a complete curveball in at the end and go for a completely different type of sim. And I'm super glad I did, because I think she looks awesome in the end. I gave her a septum ring and some tunnels in her ears and all, and I just think it looks awesome. In terms of her clothing, I decided not to go for a dress for this sim. I figured just the three I had already made were in long skirts or dresses, so I would just go for something completely different. So I gave her this kind of punky biker vibe almost. So I was looking at different options for what clothes I wanted to give her. I knew I wanted to stick with a kind of red and orange and black theme, just because when I think of fire, that is the colours that I immediately think of. I have recently downloaded some custom content jacket in the accessories section, which you can put over a top that you have on. So I kind of wanted to use one of those, but I just really couldn't decide. You can see here I was going through trying to find different options that worked together, what I wanted to go for. And I was initially really set on giving her a leather jacket, but it just didn't seem right for me. And then I found this shirt, which I just thought was epic. It has like almost like a fishnet style vest under it and the big baggy shirt over it, and I think it just looks amazing. I then gave her black leather trousers and some epic looking red DMs. So that is my 4 elemental Sims. You can see I'm just now going through some screenshots to finish off and see what they all look like. I really love them all. I think my favourite is possibly the Earth Elemental, just I think her hair and dress and everything and makeup is super cute. But I also love the Fire Elemental just because she's so edgy and cool looking. Let me know in the comments down below which one was your favourite. I really hope you all enjoyed watching this video. Thank you so much. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more from me, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so that you never miss another upload. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a great day. Bye!